Takes a village to raise a child, right? Takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. What a great line. I mean, we don't even have to finish the sentence to know what each other's talking about. It takes a village. We just kind of nod and smile and we understand it. Pretty straightforward, pretty catchy. Originally, that was a title to a book back in 1996 written by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Although there was some controversy as to how much of the book she actually wrote and what the origin of that phrase came from, there's no denying it's become part of our terminology. It's become something that we've all come to understand and know. But my question is, how has our village done at raising our children since this book came out in 1996? Last year in the United States, there were 3 million reports of child abuse involving over 6 million children. And every day in the United States, every day, 5 children die on average at the hands of their abusers. Let's bring it a little closer to home. In the state of Colorado, last year, there were 10,482 substantiated reports of child abuse, substantiated new reports of child abuse, and 40 children died at the hands of their abusers in our state. But this is about a village, right? So let's bring it even closer. Let's bring it right here into Larimer County, where we all live. Last year in Larimer County, the Department of Human Services alone, not including all of the surrounding organizations they work with, Department of Human Services here in Larimer County alone managed 10,130 referrals, assessments, and cases involving child abuse here in our community. But what bothers me most about all this is the children that we know have been abused and neglected, and they're part of our village care already. And because of lack of resources or programs, they slip through the cracks and are easily forgotten. So how does a village raise a child? Good question. My name is Craig Secher. I am the president of Realities for Children, Inc., and the executive director of Realities for Children Charities. I've been working in the child protection field here in Larimer County for the past 24 years. And one of the things that I've learned is that this isn't not going to be answered through good intentions. It's truly an issue of all of us being able to take action and have access to serve. I believe this is best accomplished through a term that I call private social community partnerships. Simply put, this is where we create a mutually beneficial partnership between the private businesses and a social cause, in this case, the issues of child protection. In doing so, we create access community-wide for everybody to get involved for the greater good. But let's go down this rabbit hole a little further. Maybe we don't really need this partnership. I mean, I think we can accept now with these statistics that maybe our village isn't doing as well as we hoped that our village was, but maybe it's just a lack of education. Maybe we just need to let everybody know what the problems are and they can get more involved. So let's pretend we could invite everybody in the county into this room. All of Larimer County is sitting in here now, and we have an opportunity to share with them all of the issues and problems with child abuse and where we need their assistance. I'm quite certain after everyone is educated and ignorance is no longer an excuse, they would all gasp, all of us collectively, and say, "That's terrible. I had no idea. What can I do?" To which historically, the only two answers to that question were effectively to donate time and to donate money, to which 80% of the people in the room let out a sigh because they don't have extra time and extra money, and we've disenfranchised the majority of our population because they cannot get involved to serve each and every day. You see, education is important, but the issue here and what the need is for empowerment. Another issue with our village, so to speak, lies in the design of the nonprofit community. By design, they are literally competing against one another for all the fundraising dollars, donations, and grant resources to run their programs. They're so divided and so focused on their own services that they're not communicating with one another. They're not collaborating with one another. And the byproduct of this lack of communication is that we get gaps in services where one program starts and another stops, we don't always know, and children slip through the cracks. Or we get an overlap in services where we have an inefficient use of this finite resource. But I think the worst impact of all is that we have a poor continuum of service from start to finish when a child enters, and we've failed to provide as a village for the children we're here to serve. The issue here is division. The way we can best serve is by bringing these agencies together and uniting them. And lastly, we're never truly going to have an answer to the question of how a village can raise a child unless we have one that is sustainable. anything can be addressed temporarily. For example, if you throw enough money at something, we can fix a lot of problems, but when that resource is exhausted, the problem still persists, and with that resource now gone, in many cases, it is allowed to thrive. So what do we need? We need to unite. We need to empower. We need a defined action. We need to make it sustainable. So let's revisit this concept I was sharing earlier about private social community partnerships. Let's see how a partnership between the for-profit world and the nonprofit world can meet all of these needs. By connecting these two groups toward a common goal, we unite them. First internally with like-minded businesses and like-minded agencies, but also externally with one another as their reach has increased through the power of this partnership. And in doing so, we empower the disenfranchised 80% of our population by offering them a third option, in addition to donating time and donating money, by simply choosing who they do their business with in the business community when they need their services. They're spending the same time and the same money as they would otherwise and being part of the solution. And because it's something that benefits all involved parties, it is sustainable. Of course, the nonprofits benefit from the support of the for-profit community, but the for-profits now benefit as well from the nonprofit community when they need their services. But not just the agencies as a whole. All of their employees, all of their board members, their volunteers, their donors can get involved on a daily basis by supporting these business leaders in our community. And community members can make a difference when they are out because they're now able to donate that time and that money to those now more visible agencies and more efficient agencies, as well as choose who they're going to do business with on a day-to-day basis. That is sustainability. In fact, during tougher times, what we have seen is that they need this system and support this system all the more. Not just because it's a good idea or because of a good cause, but because it's personally beneficial for them to do so. However, this needs to be well managed. If this partnership becomes, somewhat unbalanced like it has in the past, it loses its power. Historically, that has been the issue, by the way, where we have the for-profit world is supporting the nonprofit world, and it's a one-way street. Through private social community partnerships, we elevate the not-for-profit world to make this a two-way street where it's mutually beneficial and our entire community has the power to serve. Now, this is not just a good idea or a theory. As you may know, I have spent the past 20 years of my life creating a working model for this mutually beneficial partnership right here in Larimer County. We have built an alliance right now of over 170 local businesses that are invested in our community's children. And we have a front now of 25 amazing nonprofit agencies that work collaboratively through the work of Realities for Children charities. This program has re-enfranchised the community members to make a difference simply by whom they choose to do business with, and has created a way that our community as a whole has made certain that no child in need is forgotten. And although I have to admit, the term private social community partnership may not be as catchy as the title of the book, the power and sustainability are very, very real, making it easier for you and all of us to be doers and influencers of a better tomorrow. And friends, that is how a village raises a child.